Guys, if you want success in any department in your life, any department, and to attain the definition of true success in that department that you desire, it's going to require you to be less of who you are not. Less of who you are not. So, okay, let's imagine that maybe you're still figuring it out and you don't exactly know who you are. You haven't figured it all out yet. You haven't built yourself, you know, like things that really define you. You don't have a very, let's say you don't have a very defined wardrobe and you don't have like certain hobbies that you feel like you're good enough in yet or you're an expert in yet, but you've got like several things scattered here and there that you are interested in. There are things that you do. You have like groups of friends, but your friends aren't really like defined. There isn't like a particular type there. You've like dated around here and there, but there isn't a particular type of person that you're like really drawn to. I'm saying that for example. So you're still like dabbling, you're still experimenting, you're still like finding yourself, figuring it out. You don't particularly feel, and you're still getting to know yourself and still getting defined. And for those of you, that's okay. Like it's okay to try things, experiment things, find yourself as you go along. But I want to remind you that as you continue to develop yourself, you're going to develop a taste for what you're leaning towards and what you're leaning away from. And whatever it is that you want to be successful in, whatever it is that you want to be really good in, you want to be known for, lean to the things that feel uniquely you. Like there are just some things that will over time define as your signature. And there are things that you feel like, no, that's just not how I want to do things. That's just not how I like to do things. For example, you don't see that I have like a studio setup. I do my videos at home. I do them on a whim. I riff or talk about things that I just suddenly think of because that's how I function best. Now, if I were to look at some, I don't know, super successful content creator with like hundred thousands of followers, and they say you have to script everything and you have to start with the hook and you have like to have the body and you have to organize it in 3 to 5 points and you have to cut your videos in a certain way, otherwise people would like lose attention. You have to change frames every like 5 seconds, or you have to do things in a certain way, and then at the end of the video you have to add a call to action, because if you don't add a call to action then people are not going to subscribe. And if I were to do what other people told me to, I would not be able to produce these videos because they just don't feel like me. Like I would be looking at a script, all right? I have a script and I'd be looking at it. I would be like, I don't know how to speak off of this. I don't know how to distill my thoughts into just a few points because I feel so much in the moment that the words are just kind of flowing out of me. And this is just as an example. This is my preferred way to work. This is uniquely how I produce my videos. This is my signature. And you have your own signatures as well. And you have to find what you're leaning towards and what you're leaning away from. And it's okay if you don't already know what you're leaning towards, what you prefer, what you enjoy, what you like, what defines you. It's okay you don't know those things. As long as you could start to say no to what you don't enjoy. So let's imagine that we go to a buffet, and in that buffet, you get to taste and sample foods. You get to like get different foods on your plate, and you start to sample, what do I like? What do I don't like? And maybe you don't exactly have a preference for what kind of foods are your favorite foods because you enjoy very delicious foods and you're open to trying different kinds of cuisines and different flavor combinations, so you don't want to limit them, but you can start to find out what's not you. And just because other people are saying that, well, no, this is very well made, this is a very good recipe, but if it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't sit well on your palate, then it's not you. Similarly to the way you do things, just because it has worked so well for someone else, that this formula has worked for them, And it's created so much success. For example, you gotta write your Tinder profile this way. You gotta have like such and such photos. You gotta talk about this. These are your hobbies. And this is how you write about yourself. You're going to be able to secure a date, maybe go on a date together. You're going to realize very quickly that's not you. You didn't get to show your dry humor, but you did it exactly as the formula told you to. But here's the thing, right? Even if you did secure the date, you're going to find out that you didn't include the things that you felt were uniquely you. And you attracted like someone, anyone, but that person is not the kind of person that would laugh at your dry humor or laugh at your dad jokes. And that's why it's so important to stay in integrity with who you are and start to remove the things that don't work for you because other people's formulas may not work for you. There is this thing called resonance. Just because something resonated with other people doesn't mean that it's going to sit right with you. You could read the same script, but if you don't feel resonant with the message, with the vibe, with how it's said, with the message it carries, with the tone it carries, then it's not going to be resonant when you say it. It's not going to feel the same than if you were to use your own language, your own expression, the way you understand to say it. More than anything, I want to encourage you to trust yourself because there will always be people who tell you to do things a certain way. Like, this is the formula to succeed in X, Y, Z, to building a business, to landing a date, to the perfect marriage, to landing your dream career, to fill in the blank. There will be people who likes to do things their way. But the more honest you can be with yourself, the more you can get rid of the things that don't feel authentic, true, and resonant to you, the faster you can be successful in that area because the signal is going to be very strong. You're going to be sending the signal that I know what I'm doing. I'm following my heart. I'm following my internal guidance. My internal guidance is the one that's showing me the way. And that is where your confidence is going to come from. So you don't have to believe in anything that I said. But if it resonated with you, let me know down below in the comments, and I would love to hear from you.